In 1669, a mysterious man was arrested in France and imprisoned in complete secrecy. His face was permanently covered by a mask, originally thought to be iron but later described by some as black velvet. Known only under the alias Eustache Dogger, this prisoner was transferred between multiple prisons, always under the strictest security. The identity of the man in the iron mask became one of France's most enduring mysteries. The prisoner's guard was instructed to kill him if he removed his mask or revealed his name. Letters referring to the prisoner suggested a deep political or royal connection. Some theorists claimed he was the twin brother of King Louis XIV, hidden to prevent disputes over succession. Others speculated he was a disgraced nobleman or someone who knew state secrets too dangerous to be allowed freedom. Voltaire, the Enlightenment thinker, wrote of him in prison, saying he had seen the man and confirmed the mask's existence. Alexander Dumas later immortalized the tale in his novel, feeding the public imagination for centuries. Despite efforts by historians and cryptographers, the man's identity remains unsolved. All official records concerning him are riddled with ambiguity, and his burial was done without a name. Who was he? A twin prince? A political scapegoat? Or a common man made infamous by secrecy? The Count of Saint-Germain appeared in European courts in the 1700s, dazzling nobility with his intellect, musical talents, and deep knowledge of science and history. Fluent in multiple languages and always dressed in exquisite fashion, he quickly became known as one of the most intriguing figures in high society. But what truly set him apart was the claim that he never aged. Across decades, different people claimed to have met the Count, always looking exactly the same. From France to Germany to England, he seemed to appear and disappear with no record of birth or death. He claimed to have lived for centuries, spoke of historical events as if he had witnessed them firsthand, and dabbled in alchemy. Some believed he had found the elixir of life, a mythical substance said to grant immortality. Others connected him to secret societies like the Rosicrucians or the Freemasons. In 1784, the Count supposedly died. But sightings continued. Madame Blavatsky, founder of Theosophy, claimed he was still alive. In the 19th and 20th centuries, spiritualists and conspiracy theorists continued to link him to supernatural events and elite circles. Was he a master of deception, a time traveler, or truly immortal? The mystery of the Count endures. In the 12th century, during the reign of King Stephen of England, villagers in Woolpit discovered two young children, green-skinned, frightened, and dressed in strange clothes, emerging from a wolf pit. They spoke an unrecognizable language and refused to eat any food offered except for raw broad beans. Over time, the children adjusted. The boy fell ill and died, but the girl survived, learned English, and integrated into society. Her green skin faded, and she recounted a fantastic story. She claimed she and her brother came from a place called St. Martin's Land, a subterranean world in perpetual twilight. She described a sunless realm, separated from ours by a great river. The girl eventually married, and her descendants lived in England, but her tale remained unchanged throughout her life. Historians and scientists have proposed several theories. Some believe they were Flemish orphans, speaking a regional dialect and suffering from chlorosis, which may have caused the green hue. Others suggest psychological trauma or famine as explanations. However, more speculative theories suggest interdimensional travel, alien origins, or a forgotten underground civilization. Despite the logical explanations, the story of the Green Children has remained a cornerstone of English folklore for centuries. On November 24, 1971, a man using the alias Dan Cooper boarded a Northwest Orient Airlines flight from Portland to Seattle. Mid-flight, he passed a note to a flight attendant. "I have a bomb." He showed her a briefcase filled with wires and demanded $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes. After landing in Seattle and receiving the ransom, Cooper released the passengers and instructed the remaining crew to fly toward Mexico City. Somewhere over the forests of Washington, he opened the plane's rear staircase and parachuted into the stormy night, never to be seen again. The FBI launched one of the largest manhunts in U.S. history. They interviewed hundreds of suspects, but no one was conclusively identified as Cooper. In 1980, a young boy found a decaying package containing $5,800 in cash matching the serial numbers from the ransom. Yet, it provided no answers. Who was D.B. Cooper? A skilled paratrooper? An ex-CIA operative? Or simply a lucky daredevil? In 2016, the FBI closed the case, leaving behind one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. On a summer day in 1828, a teenage boy appeared in Nuremberg, Germany, holding a letter addressed to a local cavalry captain. He barely spoke, could not identify himself, and repeated only the words, "I want to be a cavalryman like my father." His name, he said, was Caspar Hauser. He claimed to have been held in a dark cell his entire life, fed by a faceless man, and denied all contact with the outside world. As he adapted to life in society, he displayed intelligence and a quick mind. However, questions arose about his true identity. Some believed he was a prince of the House of Baden, hidden due to succession disputes. Others thought he was mentally ill or a fraud. Caspar became a celebrity, attracting both support and criticism. He survived multiple assassination attempts, raising suspicions that powerful people wanted him silenced. In 1833, he was fatally stabbed. He claimed he had been lured into a trap, but investigators were divided. Was it suicide? Was he murdered? In his final moments, he whispered of betrayal. Modern DNA tests have been inconclusive. His past remains an unresolved riddle, and his life, a tragic tale of isolation, mystery, and possibly royal blood. From hidden prisoners and immortal counts to skyjackers and green children, these mysterious figures haunt the edges of our understanding. Their stories remind us that history is not a closed book, but a living narrative, filled with secrets yet to be revealed. What connects these individuals is not merely the strangeness of their lives, but the human need to explain the unexplained. Their legacies live on, not just in documents and graveyards, but in the questions they left behind. Perhaps that's the greatest mystery of all, that in the search for their truths, we find deeper questions about ourselves, about what it means to be remembered, and about how history chooses who to forget. In the shadows of the past, some figures still whisper, "Are we listening?